Alright, so now we're going to work on net working capital. And we're going to go through this a little bit in sort of two parts. So I have my overview that I want to cover, and also a separate little separate note set and Excel that we'll go through as well. So the key thing with net working capital is that the issue that we have when we think about income pro formas and financial statements is the issue of when sales are recorded on an income statement, and when do we record the cost of goods sold, and so the issue here is really what comes down to GAAP accounting, generally accepted accounting principles. So we need to figure out a way to sort of solve the problem that the sale might be recorded, but the cash may not yet be received. Okay, and if you think about the projections as an example here, when your marketing team gives you the projections of units sold and price per unit, they are not necessarily projecting when the cash is received. And so because of that, we do need to do something about it. And what we can do about it is net working capital. Because if we have a net working capital requirement, for example, accounts receivable, for example, inventory, with that net working capital, we can basically eliminate the discrepancy that might arise between when we record things, when we were projecting things, versus when cash actually flows. So we'll go through, like I said, we'll go through the additional note set as well in Excel. I'm going to have some separate videos on these little pieces outside of my overview PowerPoint deck. But this is, I think this does sum it up nicely, which is that we have to take into account that discrepancy, and it solves the problem. This is the bottom line. If customers pay on credit, the firm only receives cash when the bill is actually paid. Well, we can just say, look, we need to have additional working capital to support this. Take that into account with whatever the working capital requirements are. The change, we calculate the change, and that becomes our cash flow, and that solves this problem. So this is really where net working capital sort of solves a lot of potential issues that could arise because our financial statements are not necessarily matching up to the cash flows that we actually want to deal with.